What's going on, guys? This is I'm already on my walk. I actually didn't record um, the first hour of my walk, uh, only because I had to respond to some messages and things like that. But yeah, I believe this is day. What is it? Day 6. It's either day 5 or day 6. I believe it's day 6. But I'll correct myself on the video, if I'm wrong. But yeah, I hope everybody's having a good time. I hope people are working on their anxiety as well. I'm like I said, I've currently done an hour so far, and what is it? An hour, and still got like another hour to go. But yeah, the walk's been going pretty good. Today, what I did was maybe I'll put the camera more up a little bit. So today, what I did was, I'll tell you what I did. What did I do? Well, I woke up, obviously, and woke up. My goal. Well, last night I conducted week 6 of my CBT workbook, and the workbook was, speaking more about exposure and stuff I've already been doing, but it was kind of touching more on the topic. So I was doing that last night. It took about 3 hours to do that. The workbook chapters can be long, but super informative, super helpful. A lot of writing that you have to do. So as you see, I'm successfully completing the entire lap, around the block. I did this 3 times prior to this one. Oh yeah. Anyways, last night I did that workbook, and went good. And now, so in the morning, what I was getting to was, I woke up, and in week 6, you have to, list some other or more activities that you'll be. Sorry, give me a second. I'm eating an apple. We have to list more activities that you'll be doing for the week. And one of mine was like, making breakfast for yourself. So I did that. I made breakfast, pancakes and eggs. It was really good. And then after that, what else did I do? Watched YouTube for a little bit, and then I had to schedule more activities or things that I'd be doing for the rest of the week. So I did that because as I think I told you guys before, I track my daily activities, so I'm able to plan ahead of time. Kind of put them into the time slots of particular days. So I did that. And after that, what did I do? What else did I do after that? After that, I freaking organized week 3 of like group therapy documents and things like that. So, because obviously, they do have, when you first go into group therapy online, at least for my group therapy, the instructor will provide a Google Drive link for the documentations or the material that that we'll be like reviewing or doing for that session. But what I kind of, obviously, like, it's there. You have to download, obviously some pages because it's homework, but what I wanted to do is just download the entire, like all the papers essentially. So it's not that much. It's like 4 pages of things or whatever. So I just decided to do that, and then I have week 1, week 2, week 3 of all those things. I just want to have them on my desktop just to go over them, in the future as well. Who knows? I might, because I think there's some people who are in there who have been in that group before or participated in that thing before, but who knows? But I still got like 3 more weeks to go. There's 6 weeks in total, I believe. Anyways, I did that, and then what else did I do? And I started to write more on the history of my anxiety. Hopefully by now, hopefully I've been able to record. Hopefully I've been able to record or upload the video by now. But it's essentially a voiceover. So excuse me, whoever stumbles upon this video and they're, wondering, what's this guy's history and blah, blah, like his anxiety stuff. Well, there's a link to that in the description. I'm just reminding myself to put it in there. But yeah, essentially I go over the entire history of my anxiety in the first video that I planned to do, which was, so today I worked on that because I'm laying it out on paper. Obviously I'm going back to my history and looking back at, the times that I was in contact with my old therapist. Excuse me. And yeah, it's kind of like writing all this history for each year. It kind of requires me to look back at the past. Today wasn't as bad as yesterday though, because I don't know. Obviously, I've said it before, but you'll have your good days. You'll have your good days, and you have your bad days. But today it didn't have that big of an effect on me. Like looking back at my past. At times it was like kind of weird, but it is what it is. So yeah, I did that, and that probably did like 3 hours writing of my history, and hopefully that's enough to fit the first video I ever shot, because the goal is to just do the voiceover and then just read the script, read my history, and that's going to be my script, and hopefully that'll fit the video. If not, I'll just speed things up, speed the voiceover up a little bit. I don't know, I'll figure it out. But I'm happy to say that I'm almost done. I'm finishing last year. Like I'm in the middle of last year, which is 2020. So got to finish up 2020. Oh, sorry. I meant to say 2022. So I'm in the middle of finishing up 2022. And then I just gotta finish the, or I gotta begin 2023. And that's when things start to take a turn. And that's kind of where I'm at the moment. So yeah, it's gonna be pretty weird to hear myself talk about it. But I tried to not leave out, like I really did my homework. Like I looked back at my timeline and when I spoke to, my therapist, when I was in contact with him, because I had one main therapist. Kind of like throughout the time I was, I first, reached out to somebody for this anxiety stuff. So yeah, I went back to, when I had these appointments with him, and then, the times that we would talk, the times that we would stop talking, because it was like an on and off situation. Like, it wasn't always steady communication. So yeah, I made sure to be as accurate as possible, so it's pretty accurate, the timelines. A lot of stuff was, routine, and like some years were easier to write than others, because some years were just, it seemed like it was routine. Like, the day went by fast, or the year went by fast, because it was like a daily routine of doing the same thing kind of all the time. So yeah, but I'm glad that I'm almost done, so I'm gonna be finished and I can finally make the video. I'm gonna just write it, or I'm gonna just voice it over, and that'll be that. I mean, it'll be all out there, my whole entire history. I'm not, I don't want to say I'm proud of it, but I can't, it is what it is. I can't change it. I can only change what I do from this point on, and that's where my recovery is. So we're starting to develop again, and will keep developing. And I'll go over tips and tricks and things like that. But yeah, guys, like, my goal isn't to trigger anybody. I don't want to come on YouTube and act like I know I have all the answers and things like that, or claim to have all the answers, because I don't. I'm just very, to be honest, I'm very humble to be where I'm at right now, because I didn't see myself doing this. Obviously, you tell yourself, like I mentioned before, you tell yourself so many negative things about yourself. Like, you won't be able to do this. You won't be able to do that. And if you would have asked me like 2 months ago, like, do you see yourself making it around the whole block, or even around the corner, like the entire corner, in like 2 months, I would have said, hell no. I would have said, heck no. But I'm learning that repetition is key, and I know I keep saying that. Sorry for pausing for a little bit. I thought I had a burp. But no, it's like, they even mentioned that in the workbook as well. When I was reading it last night, and they said something that actually stuck with me a lot. And that was like, say someone's scared of like flying, right? Say someone has a fear of like going on an airplane and, traveling to like see their, go like on a family, gathering somewhere, and they have to visit their parents or something, and they have to take a plane. So say someone has a phobia of like flying. Well, to get over that phobia, or to accurately conduct exposure therapy, you can't expect someone to like take one airplane ride like 1 year, and then do it the next year, and like only do it like once a year, right? Like, that's not exposure. Like, the way that exposure works is you have to minimize, or you have to shorten the time apart from each exposure. So you have to make sure that, like me, I'm doing it daily. So obviously if I mean, he has a lot of money, but if a person took a plane, every single day, I mean, I'm not suggesting that, for anybody, but just giving you an example, like, if they did it every day, more than likely the fear of being on planes would, greatly reduce or extremely decrease, I would say. So yeah, that's kind of what I mean by you have to shorten the time or the distance between each exposure. And yeah, so that was Jesus, I can't talk. That's what was mentioned in the workbook last night, and it's no wonder that I'm able to now successfully like walk around the block, because I've done it. I've gone on a walk. Oh, and what was crazy, or let me finish that sentence. I've gone on a walk every day for the last almost 4 weeks, or 3 weeks, I should say. But yeah, every single day. And what's actually quite amazing to me was they also noted a time during the exposure. In the workbook, they mentioned, or this particular author, or he's also a therapist, but the therapist mentioned a study that was conducted, and that study noted like an average of 2 hours for the exposure seemed to greatly reduce the anxiety. I kind of like, I don't want to say chuckled, but it was gratifying to know that I was doing it all along without even knowing that there was, a specific, kind of a time frame. But the reason why I started doing 2 hours was because I know when I first started my anxiety recovery, or when I first started my exposure years back, I wasn't planning, like it wasn't my plan to do like a number of set hours, whatever. But I just knew that I did about 2 hours, like every single day, or if not every day, like every other day. And that's when I started to notice a huge difference in my anxiety, like decreasing, and me being able to do things that I was, kind of scared of, because my anxiety was holding me back. So to hear that 2 hours, is kind of like where it really helps. It was, I was very happy to hear that. But what I want to keep on mentioning to people is like, seek treatment if you need it, And what I mean by that is like seek treatment for like anxiety if you have severe depression, like you want to talk to a professional to help you. You can conduct these on your own, but I did it first kind of on my own, but then I got assistance from a therapist, and it was kind of he was giving me all the tools. I wasn't really following through a lot. I got sidetracked, I got not motivated. I was just kind of just in my emotions, just I wasn't focused. That's just point blank. That's just what it was. I just wasn't focused. And now I want to remain focused. So I'm taking this very serious. Like, I'm not taking any day for granted, like I'm not making some progress, even just getting up to do anything is the first step. Like just you getting up. Some people don't have the courage to even get out of bed. Some people stay stuck in bed. They can't find the courage to get up. So trust me, I've been there too. I know it's hard. I know it sucks. I know it feels like the last thing you want to do, right? But trust me, when you take the first step, well, you're going to thank yourself in the future. It's just gratifying to know that, you have the ability to change your destination. And anyways, I don't want to be too much of a positive, guru, whatever you want to call it, whatever motivational person, but that's just what it is. But yeah, I'm changing my life. And, I'm happy to do it, so if I can help anybody out there at least start to do it, then that's an accomplishment in and of itself, because I want to help people. I want to help myself. And yeah, anxiety won't control us. So that's what I'm doing. I actually just noticed. Oh, that was actually cool. Like, how some people have on their gate, like, oh, like, there's cameras watching. But, like, you're like, you probably just have that poster up. There's probably no camera. But I looked up and I saw, like, a blink, like those wireless blink cameras. I'm like, outdoor cameras. I'm like, man, that's crazy, because that's actually hitting quite well. That was cool. Good placement for them. Good placement. Props for them. Anyways, I used to have a blink, the old ones. I think that black cat. I think I feed that black cat. Anyways, yeah. So it's good. It's good to get sunlight. I was missing the sun so long, but yeah, my clarity today is good. I'm able to make it around the block more. Still, at times it's tough, but like I said, like, take advantage of the good days. Like, when you're feeling it better, when you have more of that clarity, take advantage of that time to do more exposure. I want to point that out there, if you are, comfortable doing it. Obviously, it's going to be uncomfortable to conduct it, but what I mean by that is, like, I don't want to urge someone to, like, go from being so anxiety ridden to just flat out, like, doing the thing that scares you the most, because that can be traumatizing for some people. So, but the goal for me, or whatever, when I say this, is like, when you've taken your first steps of exposure and you feel confident that you won't just go and just fly into something that you'll be traumatized with, what I'm trying to say is, if you feel confident that you can successfully do it, don't question yourself in that moment, and yeah, let your wings fly. You know what I'm saying? Because that's kind of the first step I took. Was one day I was like, you know what? Even before I got to the half point, I was like, I already had it decided in my mind that I was gonna do it. And I did it. Ow. I was actually supposed to take Oh, let me see my mic's on. Yeah, it's still good. I was actually supposed to take the rocks that I took yesterday back, but I forgot. And yeah, they're in my room. So I guess we're gonna have more. But that just gives me more incentive to put them back. But yeah, like if you can implement those strategies, like no one taught me, or like no one told me to, you know, I mean, is this considered stealing? Like taking little rocks? Probably, but whatever, you know what I'm saying? People kick them all the time. You know, I'm sure kids probably get up there and like kick them or whatever. But no one taught me to do that. Like no one said like, you know, hey, I'm gonna go back actually, because I thought that car was gonna turn. But yeah, no one said like, hey, that's a useful tool to do. Like, you know, take an object and then put it back the next day. That's kind of like my own thing that I thought of. It was like a thing. It was like an objective for me. No, it was like a task. It's like I don't know, like capture the flag or some shit. Like, you know, you take something, then you got to put it back, or put it, you know, whatever, put it in a specific area. In this case, mine was like, you know, take the thing and just return it. But it just gives me more of like a push. And I think in and of itself, it teaches you to push yourself, you know, because you tell yourself like, you know, it's just a little bit further, then I can just drop this off and we'll be good. And but then, although that teaches your mind, like, yeah, we have an object to drop off, but it'll teach your body to like that it can go further, you know. So that's my whole idea with that is yeah, that's my whole plan with that. Is it useful? I'm not sure, but you know, it seems to be helping me, I guess, or I'm just doing it. So anyways, all right, we're at almost an hour and 30 minutes. The walk's been great. You know, the walk's been fantastic today. I've had less anxiety today. You know, I was pretty focused when I was writing. I was pretty focused on my walk, and I still am. And yeah, just gotta keep doing this. But what else can I say? Still drinking lots of water. Yeah. All those sunny days, actually. One thing I did right in my, I mean, you know, maybe I'll just like, I guess I could touch on things that I've talked about in the voiceover, you know, but I did mention like wearing sunglasses, you know, when I got in touch with my new therapist that I have now. And yeah, the whole sunglasses thing, it was like, the whole goal with that was to make, you know, my senses less, I guess to have like, I mean, I don't want to say like less brain activity, because you don't want to be like a potato, but what I mean to say is like less stimulus. There you go. That's what I forgot to mention. Ow, my freaking back. In the actual writing, I should have said that. But it was to allow myself to kind of decrease the stimulus or whatever that your brain gives off, or your senses, whatever you want to call it. And that way you can focus more on the walk. Because for a little while, you know, I couldn't go on walks with like the sun being like really intense, or like, you know, kind of like when you're, say it's like 12 o'clock and it's like a very sunny day. It's like that. It's like the anxiety for me was still, I mean, who knows? I mean, I haven't really gone on walks around like exactly 12 o'clock or 1 o'clock or like 11, you know? Like sometimes I did, but recently I've just been walking around like, 2 o'clock or like 1 o'clock. So it's not like extremely sunny. But no, like the sun would give me more, I don't know if the anxiety was more intense, I guess you could say, when it was sunny. I'm not sure why that was or why that is, because who knows, maybe it still is. I just haven't really noticed it. But no, I still did walks, even on sunny days, There were some sunny days I remember this week or even last week. And, the anxiety was a little bit more intense, but I was still doing it. So I also want to put that out there too. Like, and again, I'm going to keep on mentioning this, but if you're comfortable to conduct walks or conduct, if walks is what you're facing or things like that, but going on walks in any weather condition. So like, when I was really on edge, I was going on walks during, I was like Forrest Gump. I was like damn near Forrest Gump. Like there was freaking raining and shit. I was still going on my walk. Well, he was running, but regardless. Yeah. And then there was cloudy days I went on walks. There was sprinkling days I went on walks. There was sunny days I went on walks. There was very windy days I went on walks. So you want to do it in any weather condition. Obviously take the appropriate, what is it? Clothing, for that particular weather. Don't be a fool like me in the first time. But you can't really blame me because I was just so on edge. Like I had no choice. Like, well, obviously everyone has a choice, but like, yeah, my mental state, I was like, nah, you gotta go on the freaking walk regardless. Even if it's freaking stormy, like I don't care. So yeah, I was soaked. But I went through it. But that'll just teach you to because I felt like on those windy days when like I had to hold the umbrella with two hands or like my body was being freaking pushed. I'm a big person, I'm not small. I'm still losing weight. But yeah, even that was pushing me. So like I feel like it's like pushing or like being like in an intensive state because like mix that like windiness mixed with like your exposure mixed with like slight anxiety and then all this stuff, and then the next day say it's like calm, like today, it'll make that experience, to me it'll greatly improve a day like today, because it'll be like, wow, like you're able to withstand or go through exposure therapy and in this crazy weather. Again, I'm not advising anybody to do this without being properly fitted or being comfortable doing it themselves. But anyways, I just want to keep throwing that out there. I don't want to traumatize anybody. But the point I'm making is that it'll make a day like today seem a lot more tolerable. Like going on a walk on like a cloudy day is very, it's probably less appealing and whatever. But then, you have a good day like today, it's sunny, and you feel confident, and your anxiety isn't that extreme. And yeah, I feel like overall it'll be good to test yourself, because not every day is going to be a good day. Like, not every day is going to be a sunny day, is what I'm trying to get at. So the more you're able to teach your mind that you can conduct exposure in any given weather, not even just extreme weather, it's like just cloudy weather, like it's just that it'll have a greater effect in my personal opinion, in my personal experience, like. And another thing I want to put out there, like going the extra step. So for instance, like right here, you see me stop right there before, right? But sometimes in my mind, I'll say, you know what, just go a little bit, just go a little bit further, and you'll thank yourself later for doing so. Even if you feel discomfort doing it, you'll feel good about it, either when you're laying down at night or just later on in the day. Like, you'll thank yourself. And that's kind of what I've done the last 2 weeks, like 2-3 weeks, is like, there would be days where I'd be like, I don't know if I want to do that. I don't know if I can do that, but I just tell myself, push yourself a little bit more. Just a little bit. It can even be one more, like, I'm always using my walks because that's what I'm dealing with, but you can use whatever you're dealing with. But even if it's a small thing, like taking one more like square, like one more, like, I mean, I'm calling these squares, like one more pavement square or one more cement square. Like, say if you're used to just touching this one, right? Well, if you go to that one, that's still an accomplishment. You know what I'm saying? It's like small steps. Small steps lead to big steps. That's my quote. Oh, almost forgot to get a rock. One day this guy who's here is gonna see me taking his rock, and I'm gonna pause, like mid grab. I'm gonna pause and just look at him, just slowly grab it anyway. Just be like, yeah. No, I'm just kidding. But that'd be hilarious. Yeah, guys, we're on 38 minutes, so we're doing good so far. We're doing really good. I want to say congratulations to myself for accomplishing this walk today. Not even today, just every single day. It hasn't been easy, this journey so far, but it's been rewarding. It's been rewarding, mentally rewarding. I've taken time off of work to be able to focus on my mental health, and maybe some people would use this time unwisely, like, I don't know, like partying or going out drinking or around playing games all day, just doing things that guys in their mid-20s do type shit. But no, like, I haven't taken no day off, because when I say it was that severe. Oh, that cat's so pretty. People hate black cats, but black cats are cool. Like, I feed a black cat. His name's Samba. You know what I'm saying? But anyways, like, God, people need to pick up. I see trash a lot. I'm just like, I think, like, should I buy like a trash picker upper and like pick up trash in my neighborhood and be a fucking get in the local paper like as a trash fucking picker upper guy. But I'm like, no, fuck that. I'm focused on my mental health. But now, like, what was I saying? Wow. No, we got this. But no, yeah, so I think it's hilarious when I finally catch where I left off. But like when people people would have used this time to, you know, not really work on their stuff, but I was at a point where I had to do it. Like, you know, there was no other option. Ooh, I didn't even have my lid on. Oh, let me drink this. Like, I was very on the edge, and that's not a place you want to be. And I don't mean like just anxiety, you know, like just mentally, I just wasn't really, you know, feeling myself. Like I was going through it, you know. Like I said, I'm still climbing out of it, but I want to say I made tremendous progress, but I don't want to, you know, obviously I want to give myself credit, but I still like to see this as like, I'm still like 60% out of it, you know, because I want to get to the point where like, I feel so good, you know, and I'm like, where I can say like, for sure, undoubtedly, and I'm not just speaking in terms of anxiety, like, you know, but I'm talking about just like mental health. Like, I just want to be able to say like, yeah, I'm doing really good, you know, and I'm not there to be able to say that. So, but, you know, progress is progress. So we're at 42 minutes. Let me see the timer. Let me see where I'm at. Where we at? We're at an hour and 39 minutes, guys. Hour and 39 minutes. So that means I started recording on this video when it was probably around like 55 minutes or something. But we're still good. We'll get there in no time. Sorry, I'm trying to put my headphones back in my freaking pocket. I need to get some wireless headphones, but yeah. I had AirPods, but yeah, I'm not walking. There was a car. Guess what? Passenger right away. I learned that I always see learn that in driving school. But yeah, guys. Ow. Smell. But yeah, if you notice, I haven't been relying on my grounding techniques. They're only meant to, you only utilize that if you need to. And today I haven't really felt the need to do it. And it could also be because I'm talking, you know, I'm saying my thoughts out loud. So it's kind of like I'm focused on a topic. But yeah, if you need to use your techniques, you know, grounding techniques. If you don't have, you know, try to get help by, you know, seeing a therapist, or you can even help yourself by buying a CBT workbook. I'll leave a link in the description for the exact workbook that I've been working on. And yeah, please use that to your advantage. And another thing I learned in the workbook last night when I was reading it was, you know how when I would do the heavy breathing, like during, sometimes when I would reach that corner, and the workbook mentioned that you basically have to, the deep breathing isn't meant like to prevent anxiety, like it's just meant to get you through it. You know what I mean? It's not meant to stop it or to avoid it or to stop it. It's not meant to stop it from happening. It's just meant to work through it. And I remembered that I wanted to mention that today because I know I mistakenly was saying, like, when you get to an uncomfortable position, or, breathe in, breathe out, which is accurate. You do those things. But yeah, you want to also, it's not meant, I just want to point that out there. It's not meant to avoid a panic attack. It's not meant to avoid it. It's just meant to get through it, or to get through your discomfort. So just want to note that. Just want to let everybody know that, deep breathing is not meant to stop anxiety. It's just meant to help you get through it. Like at this very moment, the street seems, I was having a little bit of tunnel vision just now, but I'm still, the uncomfortableness has diminished. Like before, it was like, if I saw that tunnel vision, I'd just be like, my body would just be fully panicked. I'd be like, man. But now it's kind of less, it's a lot less. I'm able to just say, let's keep going. You know what I mean? And then there's like 3 cars. Whatever, watch me do it. Boom, boom, boom. Let's just go. All right, we got it. And yeah. But anyways, yeah, I wanted to point that out there. I'm still learning, CBT stuff as well. I want to give out accurate information when I do say it, because that's something my therapist mentioned to me, that, I don't want to traumatize anybody. And he's right. I got to be very cautious with the way I go about this, because it can be triggering to some people. If I was watching, even sometimes when I watch this video, videos of me walking, well, I guess not now, because, I do it on a daily basis, but like if I would have watched this video, like, months ago, years ago, it would have for sure triggered me. But yeah, I'm going to put a cautious statement before every single video, just to make sure that people have the right idea, or just to warn people, just use as a warning technique. I think that'd be a professional way to go about it. Like right now, I'm just, use your techniques, but for sure grounding techniques do help. I know that for sure, first-handedly. But slowly but surely, you'll get through it. I feel like we haven't gotten as many rocks as we should have. Let me see. Yeah, I just touched my freaking apple. Why do I always put my apple? All right. I'm gonna get this one. I always look at the rock that I'm gonna get, and I know that I'm gonna get. I'm like, yo, that's the one. Oh. Another thing that I have planned this week is to practice standing still. Why did I say standing like that? Standing still. or just like standing in an area like that you're like right here. Well, obviously not just standing here, but like, you know what I mean? Standing or sitting at a place that that anxiety is kind of frequent at. And I feel like I'm now at a place where I can try to do that, you know, like sit down, just sit with, you can even time yourself. Oh, that's another thing. I probably touched on this in the anxiety videos, or the first anxiety thing that I did. The first video was to what was it? To practice. Sorry, I'm drawing a blank. Give me a second. Yeah, there we go. Timing yourself in uncomfortable positions or areas. Like, for instance, is my mic still on? Oh, yeah, I'm still good. Like before, I would, you know, I had trouble just being outside, like even during the nighttime. So what I would do was, I already mentioned it, but yeah, I would either be on the phone with a friend, you know, while being, say, like in the backyard, you know, because I have steps, and just sit there. And you can do that for like 10 minutes, 15 minutes. But start very small, you know, baby steps. You know, like, and if it's 2 minutes, it's 2 minutes. You know, if that's what you can tolerate for the moment, that's okay. But the goal is to eventually challenge yourself and do like 4 minutes the next day. You know, like go from three to 4, 4 to 5, and then just keep going. And that's kind of the exposure that I did. So yeah, just keep doing that. But yeah, that's a goal that I have for this week, is to freaking just, you know, stand in an uncomfortable place just for a little bit, because I find that like I'm on these walks, and you know, there were at times where things were a little bit too much for me, and I need to, you know, just stand for a little bit. And that's okay if that happens to you. You know, just go with what your body tells you. You know, if you need to take a break and sit down somewhere, do that. You know, but like push your body reasonably. You know, do it at different thresholds, different, break it down into sections. But yeah, I'm not a licensed therapist, I want to tell you that. That's just what I've been doing. But the workbook that I've worked on, it'll break it down a lot more, obviously a lot more better than I can. But yeah, we're nearing kind of the end of the walk, and it's been a good walk. Let me see where we're at with time. We're at 1 hour and 50 minutes. Nice. An hour and 50 minutes. Alright. It smells like freaking barbecue. Why does it always smell like charcoal? God, my freaking headphones are annoying. Alright, so for this one, I only feel comfortable doing it like right here. That's okay. Boom. I see a guy shaking 2 cans of paint, and it's pretty satisfying to watch and pretty hilarious. Not sure if you can hear that, but the way he was standing was hilarious. Oh, that was funny. When you see a guy shake 2 cans of paint, man, I'll put you on your ass. But yeah, we're just venturing out. Should I do the extra time today? We'll see. I'm not sure exactly how much extra time I was supposed to do. I know it was a lot. think it was like 40 minutes. And I don't, well, I mean, we can do it, but I kind of just want to just do the 2 hours today. You know, have some, because it's cool to have some time relaxing when it's not fully dark, you know, because it'll get dark soon, like 50 minutes. So I don't want to enjoy what's left of the day, but it's been a very good walk. Very good walk. And I'm still actually feeling the ab workout. Or the crunches, surprisingly. That's how you know my body hasn't, you know, undergone any exercise. Because, man, yeah, I'm feeling it. Even like when you toss, like, because typically I'll turn to the side in my sleep. Even when like doing that, or even like trying to get up in the morning, like, or just getting up out of bed, like, you have to exert some sort of, you know, muscle in your, was it your abdomen? Or, not your abdomen, your freaking, you know what I'm saying? Like, your chest area. I don't know how to, I know medical terminologies like that. But, yeah. But I'm still going to work out some days. I should actually plan that as well. But, gosh. Another thing I'm learning, well, another thing that I'm actually full of tips today, holy crap. But something I want to mention as well is I've been spending less time on my bed. So, and what I mean by that is like, before, you know, the first couple weeks, 2 to 3 weeks, I built a routine where when I was doing more exposure therapy, maybe I might mention this. I probably did mention this in my first video, but, you know, it was mainly to conduct the light exposure therapy. All right, we're going to start breathing and counting. All right, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 7. All right, we're good. Like the first 2, 3 weeks, it was mainly to conduct the light exposure therapy and kind of like that. It was when I was very on edge and, you know, I was, you know, I couldn't really do much. Well, I don't want to say do much, but, you know, like things like that. Like I developed more phobias, like, you know, the light being on signified nighttime and blah, blah. So, you know, I had to do exposure therapy for that. And I would lay down for like 2 hours, you know, with the light on. But I was watching YouTube at the same time. But still, it wasn't healthy because in the CBT workbook I learned, it was like those, you know, like when a book gives you like a side tip, like a side, like, you know, just like an extra section like on the side where like you don't have to read it, but it's informative, you know. And that one I read, it said, try to reduce as much time you spend in your bed as possible, because you want to kind of tell your brain or teach your brain that the bed is for sleeping, not, you know, being up. And if you're, you know, say, I think I gave the example, like if you sleep for 7 hours but you're in bed for 9 hours, and that's 2 hours that you were in bed, or, you know, without sleeping, and, you know, you're kind of telling your brain that it's okay to, you know, like not be sleeping when you're in bed, which then, you know, doesn't allow you to sleep, or it makes it harder to sleep. So you want to, I'm not sure if it was recording or not, but yeah, it's on 20%, this phone. but it's good. It'll last. Anyways, but yeah, like, you know, if you're sleeping for 9 or 7 hours, if you're sleeping for 7 hours, but you spend 9 hours in bed, that's 2 hours that you spend not sleeping. So that teaches your brain, you know, that you can be in bed but not sleep. So, but you want to start to teach your mind that bed is used solely for sleeping. And I guess I slightly contradicted myself because, like, you know, my routine has been to be in bed and then, you know, I watch YouTube for like an hour or so. But, you know, I still gotta, you know, learn to not do that. But at least I've diminished the time that I spend in bed, you know, just not sleeping. Because, yeah, there was like 2 hours that I would just be there watching YouTube, just conducting that exposure stuff and trying to get comfortable. But then, yeah, now I just, if I'm watching YouTube or something, I'll just be at my desktop, you know, like on my computer, watching YouTube and just sitting down instead of laying down, and you're not on your bed. So what I can say is it makes the feeling of going to sleep actually a lot more better because, yeah, when you lay down, your body, you know, is fully extended and it just feels, you know, the feeling of laying down after a long day. So it's a lot more relaxing, I guess you could say. On top of that, doing the, you know, taking a shower after or before bed too, because, yeah, you start to feel comfortable. That's another technique to relax yourself. That was an idea that I got. Well, obviously a shower in and of itself is very relaxing, but, you know, you got to take a warm shower, like a hot shower, you know, not freaking steaming on your skin, but like, you know, to where, you know, just where you can tolerate it. And when you go in bed, like, you know, the shower being hot or warm, and then the contrast between that, and then you transfer to your room and it's like cold or chilly or just room temperature. So when you lay down, it's a lot more relaxing to when your body cools off. So that's another technique that you can use is take a warm shower before bed. And yeah, you can do that and feel more comfortable. But I always put like 2 water bottles right next to me on my little stand. And because you know, I like to drink water. Now it's just for, like, you know, being healthy. So anyways, guys, let me look at the time. Let's see if we complete this walk. All right, guys, we're at 2 hours. So we are going to stop this recording, and I will see you guys in the next one. See ya.